Now, Josh, we saw some crazy scenes out of another blue state, New York, and one of the bluest cities, New York City. The anarchy, the violence, the attacks against the police. I mean, these scenes are not what you expect to see in a civilized city.
Unfortunately, Rita, this is actually increasingly what and I think many others have come to expect from Soros prosecutor-backed Democratic Party governed cities in America. In fact, it was only a few months ago where there were very similar images out of Chicago. It was around the time of the mayoral runoff there in Chicago. Lori Lightfoot is out, and there were these horrible images of people just openly vandalizing and looting stores. It really makes my blood boil, honestly. I mean, there are a few issues out there that
Mm.
really viscerally get my blood pressure like through the roof than watching scenes like this, than watching this open flouting of the rule of law, this desecration of law and order, watching cops stand down because they feel like they cannot take action because they might be prosecuted or they might be sued for monetary damages. It's horrible. I mean, with scenes like this, if you are an entrepreneur, why would you ever feel incentivized to try to kind of save up capital, get a loan from a bank, get your business going up, if your business is just possibly liable or could potentially one day just be looted and vandalized by these street thugs? I mean, without basic respect for the moral imperative of the rule of law, nothing in society ultimately matters. It really does all come back to this. And like I said, I mean, in so many of these Soros prosecutor cities in particular, Chicago, New York City, St. Louis, Los Angeles, San Francisco, tragically, I think the number is roughly 20%. Roughly 1 in 5 Americans currently live in a jurisdiction where there is a George Soros-backed prosecutor because he has many of the biggest cities,
Oh,
like I just mentioned there. That is a galling statistic. It's actually why my friend Will Scharf and I recently founded a group called Jews Against Soros. We're trying to kind of push back against this ridiculous notion that to criticize George Soros is somehow anti-Semitic. It is not. He is an evil man. He should be called out for it because the more George Soros you get and the more George Soros-funded prosecutors you get, the more scenes like this you will have.
you are so right. I had no idea about that statistic. 1 in 5 Americans are living in jurisdictions under George Soros-backed DAs. That is not. That is not happy news. That is just sinister. The influence this man has, this single man has on the justice system. Josh Hammer, thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks, Rita.